Sahajanand Swami Maharaj Ni Jai. Vachnamrut number 70. The subject highlighted in this Vachnamrut is the internal war going on inside us, especially when we have to make certain decisions, whether the choice that I will make will please God or displease God. And in this moment, there is one side of me that says yes and one side of me that says no. Which side of me is saying yes and which side of me is saying no is what Kake Bhai asked as a question. અંતરની માહિલી કોરે એક કહે છે જે વિષયને ભોગવીએ ને એક તેની ના પાડે છે. તે કોણ છે જે હા પાડે છે ને કોણ છે જે ના પાડે છે? One is constantly telling me life is short, you can enjoy, give in to all material temptations, don't have so many boundaries or ifs and buts and restrictions, and just have a blast. And the other side inside me is saying, no, this is going to displease God. I must not. I must seek only eternal, pure happiness. I must realize the truth and not give in to these illusionary temptations. So who's saying not to indulge and who's saying, okay, it's okay to indulge? નિત્યાનંદ સ્વામી gave an answer, ના પાડે છે તે જીવ છે ને હા પાડે છે તે મન છે. Nityanand Swami said that the soul is saying no, do not indulge, and the mind is saying go, it's okay to indulge. Shriji Maharaj said this is not the truth. In another Vachnamrut, he is insisted that the Jeev and the Man always work in tandem. The Man cannot indulge in anything without the permission from the Jeev. Only when the Atma allows the mind to indulge can the mind indulge. The mind is a slave of the soul. So if the indulgence is happening, the soul is to be blamed as much as the mind. So he negates this answer that the soul doesn't want to and the mind wants to. Only when the soul and the mind both want to indulge does an indulgence happen. So how to stop the soul from indulging must be the question. And he answers this, that what is the war going out inside the soul for this split answers to come, this split personality inside the soul that is happening is what he highlights. આ પણ છે તે જે દિવસથી સમજણા થયા છે ને મા બાપની ઓળખાણ પડી તે દિવસ પછી મા બાપે નિશ્ચય કરાવ્યો જે આ તારી મા ને આ તારો બાપ, આ તારો કાકો ને આ તારો ભાઈ, આ તારો મામો ને આ તારી બોન, આ તારી મામી ને આ તારી કાકી, આ તારી માસી ને આ તારી ભેંસ, આ તારી ગાય ને આ તારો ઘોડો ને આ તારું લુગડું ને આ તારું ઘર ને આ તારી મેળી ને આ તારું ખેતર ને આ તારા ઘરેણાં ઇત્યાદિક જે કુસંગીના શબ્દ છે તે આ જીવની બુદ્ધિમાં જડી ગયા છે. From the time that we recognized our parents, when we were that 1 year old, 1.5 year old, 2 year old, from that day onwards, there is a bombardment done on us that you are Malik, this is your home, this is your toy, this is your car, this is your identity, this is your community, you are Gujarati, you are so and so religion, you are so and so caste. This is not the real me. I should have been told that I am the soul. I should have been told that this body is not me, but everything related to this body was imbibed in me as my real identity. Even in the middle of the night, if somebody asked me, who are you? I will say Malik. That much this false identity is embedded into us. He is saying this embedded false identity he is terming as Kusangi na Shabd. Why is he calling it Kusangi? Because this is not what God has taught us. Satsang teaches us something else. પછી તેને સત્સંગ થયો. સંતે આવીને પરમેશ્વરના મહિમાની વાત કરી, વિષય ખંડનની વાત કરી, જગત મિથ્યાની વાત કરી. એ સંતની વાર્તા ને તે સંતના રૂપ તે પણ તે જીવની બુદ્ધિમાં રહ્યા છે. અને તે બેય લશ્કર સામ સામા ઊભા છે. When the saint entered in our life, he woke us up from that illusionary dream and said, "You are the soul. You are not this body. Do you realize who gave you this soul, this body? God gave you this soul and this body. All these material pleasures, are they satiating you? No, they are not satiating you. Are they permanent? No, they are not permanent. They are nashwant. If they are nashwant, if they are not going to last, then why are you constantly investing in these material pleasures? Find everlasting happiness. Where will you find everlasting happiness? Only in the company of the saint, while seeking God, while doing bhakti of God, will you find everlasting happiness. They reminded us of our purpose, of why this life is. They made us realize that all this material indulgences are going to eventually give us pain after the pleasure ends, and are going to constantly make us feel empty and not complete from within. These shabd that Sant have told us, Santajan, Satpurush have entered in our life and told us, they are standing as the opposite army. So one Kusangino Shabd is one army standing on one side, and they are holding Panch Vishay Roop Shastra, and Sant are holding Shastra's Shabda. Both these armies are inside us and are causing this war. જીવના અંતઃકરણમાં કુસંગી રૂપ ને પંચવિષય રૂપી શાસ્ત્ર બાંધીને ઊભા છે, ને સંતનું રૂપ તે પણ ભગવાન સત્ય ને જગત મિથ્યા ને વિષય ખોટા એવા જે શબ્દ તે રૂપી શાસ્ત્ર બાંધીને ઊભા છે. એમ પરસ્પર શબ્દની લડાઈ થાય છે. ત્યારે કુસંગીનું બળ જ્યારે વધે ત્યારે વિષય ભોગવ્યાની ઈચ્છા થાય છે, ને સંતનું બળ જ્યારે વધે ત્યારે વિષય ભોગવ્યાની ઈચ્છા થતી નથી. એમ અંતઃકરણમાં લડાઈ થાય છે. Inside our antahkaran, this war is going on. The day the Sant's Shabd, Satsang's Shabd is stronger, we don't give in to the temptations. The day the Kusang Shabd is stronger, we give in to the temptations. So Kake Bhai asks, who will eventually win? And God says, જ્યાં યોગેશ્વર એવા શ્રી કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન છે તેનો જ જય થાશે એમ નિશ્ચય રાખવો. અને અંતરમાં જે કુસંગી રહ્યા છે ને બહાર જે કુસંગી રહ્યા છે તે બે એક છે. અંતરમાં જે સંત રહ્યા છે ને બહાર જે સંત રહ્યા છે તે બે એક છે. અંતરના કુસંગીનું બહારના કુસંગીએ કરીને પોષણે કરીને બળ વધે છે, અને અંતરમાં જે સંત છે તેનું પણ બહાર જે સંત છે તેને પોષણે કરીને બળ વધે છે. માટે બહારના કુસંગીનો સંગ ન કરે ને બહારના જે સંત છે તેનો જ સંગ રાખે તો કુસંગીનું બળ ઘટી જાય ને સંતનું બળ વધી જાય. How can I increase the strength of internal satsang side of war? By increasing my indulgence in external Santa Samagam. The more I am going to spend time with saints outside, I will get saintly nutrition inside. I will get divine nutrition inside. And the divine side of me, the truth side of me, will get stronger. And if outside I am going to spend more and more time with kusangis, with people who only give nutrition to my aham mamatva, this is me and this is mine, this feeling, this sentiment will get nutrition from ignorant people outside, and the ignorant side of me inside will get nutrition. So whether I want to give nutrition to the truth side of inside, then I have to be in the company of the people who believe in the truth and are seeking the truth. And if I want to give nutrition to the ignorant side of me, I have to spend more time with ignorant people. We must check, whom are we spending more time with? Are we still spending time in ignorance with ignorant people, or more and more time with enlightened souls? Again Kake Bhai asks that એકને તો કુસંગીની લડાઈ આળસી ગઈ છે ને એકને તો એમને એમ લડાઈ થતી રહે છે. જેની લડાઈ આળસી ગઈ, જે લડાઈ જીતી ગયો તેને તો મોક્ષ મળશે, એમાં કોઈ સંશય નથી, પણ જેને લડાઈ થતી જ રહે છે એની શી ગતિ થશે? I am fighting that war, I am strengthening the saint, but still I know that I am indulging at times. What will happen to my soul? Will I get liberation or not if I have not won the war yet and I am still fighting that war? What will happen to me is what he is asking out of worry that he doesn't want to fail this test and lose God. Yes, he knows and he accepts sincerely, honestly, that sometimes I give in to these indulgences and I don't win every war. God, what will happen to me? God answers with a lot of compassion. એક લડવા નિસર્યો ને તેને આગળ તો વાણિયા કે ગરીબ વર્ણ આવ્યો, તેને જીતી ગયો. અને એકને તો આરબની, રાજપૂતની, કોળીની સેના આવી ને ન જીત્યો, પણ એમને એમ લડે છે તેમાં જીત્યો તો જીત્યો ને જો લડતે લડતે મરાણો તો પણ એનો ધણી તે શું નહીં જાણે? જે તેને આગળ આવા કરડા માણસ આવ્યા હતા તે નહીં જીતાય. એ બે ધણીની નજરમાં હોય તેમ એની ભગવાન સહાય કરે છે. God knows that sometimes you are fighting a war with a very weak enemy and you will win. But sometimes you are fighting a war with a very, very strong opponent and you may not win. He is aware of it. He is not interested in our victories. He is interested in our effort. Did we put in a strong fight? Were we regretting every time that we failed, or we were subtly enjoying all the pleasures? Were we resisting the pleasures, or were we indulging with self-will? Were we always having repentance of losing that fight internally and putting up a better front every single time or not? He is the all-knower. He assesses this, and if he finds that we genuinely and authentically gave a good intended and a well implemented fight, and if he is satisfied with our effort in the fight, he helps us. The grace of God is showered on somebody who puts in this effort, and he sees us with compassion and empathy. જે આને આવા સંકલ્પ વિકલ્પનું બળ છે ને લડાઈ લે છે, માટે એને શાબાશ છે. પૂર્વ સંસ્કાર્સ, પૂર્વ કર્માસ are tempting us in those directions constantly, and we have to overcome those temptations of janmo janma. And if he sees that we had so many wars to win and we still kept fighting, then he comes and appreciates that, acknowledges that, pats our back for our effort. એમ જાણીને ભગવાન એની સહાય કરે છે, and then he helps. And when he helps, even if Krishna is alone and there is a whole army against Arjun and Krishna, Krishna and Arjun do win, because Arjun has Krishna by his side and Krishna is bound to win. So when we are going to fight like this, God will help us, but he must see that intent that we want to overcome our alas, we want to overcome our pramad, we want to overcome our ahankar. If he does not see intent in us that we want to overcome, and if he sees that in fact we are resisting overcoming these, and in fact we are being complacent in overcoming these, if we give explanations and justifications and tell God or tell Satpurush that no, I don't have these shortcomings in me, and in fact it is because of this and it is because of that, and I really tried my best. He knows it when you try your best, and he knows it when you don't try your best. All these things won't help us. We can't fool God. We can't fool the Satpurush. We are only fooling ourselves if we even try to fool them. But if the effort and the intent is authentic, then he says, બેફિકર રહેવું, કાંઈ ચિંતા રાખવી નહીં, ભગવાનને એમને એમ ભજ્યા કરવું, સંતનો સમાગમ અધિક રાખવો ને કુસંગીથી છેટે રહેવું. Be fearless. Don't be anxious of your liberation. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing God's bhajan. Just focus on the efforts. Keep spending more time and energy in Sant Samagam, and this Sant Samagam will strengthen your inner truth so much that you will automatically get detached from the kusang, and your divine nutrition will keep increasing. But he is warning, ભગવાનનો નિશ્ચય કરવો ને ભગવાનનો સત્સંગ કરવો તે તો એકલો પોતાના જીવના કલ્યાણને અર્થે જ કરવો, પણ પદાર્થની ઈચ્છાએ કરીને ન કરવો. Being in the company of saints and doing bhakti of God must have a single sole purpose: your own salvation, your own reunion with God. Don't come into spirituality for material gains or material wishes. હું સત્સંગ કરું તો મારો દેહ માંદો છે તે સાજો થાય. હું વાંજ્યો છું તો દીકરો આવે ને દીકરો મરી જાય તો જીવતો રહે. Don't come for because your child is ill and you want his health to get better, because you are ill and you want to get better, because you are not getting a son or a daughter and you want it, you are not getting a soulmate in life or spiritual a life partner and you want to come to spirituality so that God gets pleased on you and gives you a life partner. Or nirdhan chu ne dhanwan thao, I'm not wealthy and I want more wealth, more comfort, અને ગામ ગરાસ ગયો છે તે સત્સંગ કરીએ તો પાછો આવે. All my property has gone and I've become a pauper and I want to gain all those wealth back, and if I do good karmas and if I do satsang then I will get all that back. એવી જાતની પદાર્થની ઈચ્છા રાખીને સત્સંગ ન કરે, અને જો એવી જાતની ઈચ્છા રાખીને સત્સંગ કરે તો એ પદાર્થની ઈચ્છા પૂરી થાય તો અતિશય પાક્કો સત્સંગી થઈ જાય, અને જો પદાર્થની ઈચ્છા પૂરી ન થાય તો નિશ્ચય જ મટી જાય. What is the flip side of doing satsang for material gains? If your wishes are fulfilled, you will become a pakka satsangi, a very strong satsangi. And if your ichha is not fulfilled, then you will become kusangi. Your nischay, your belief in God itself will shake. You will not believe in God ever again, because God did not fulfill your prayer and didn't answer your wishes. So what will you think? That God does not exist, God is unfair, God is unjust, nothing like God exists, all this is merely an illusion. If God would have existed, he would have listened to me, he would have done this, he would have done that. માટે સત્સંગ કરવો તે પોતાના જીવના કલ્યાણને અર્થે જ કરવો, પણ કોઈ પદાર્થની ઈચ્છા તો રાખવી જ નહીં. કારણ કે પદાર્થ તો નાશવંત છે, માટે એ પદાર્થની ઈચ્છાએ સત્સંગ કરે તો એને નિશ્ચયમાં સંશય થયા વિના રહે જ નહીં. Whatever you are asking for is all impermanent and temporary. Whatever you ask for is eventually going to not exist. Whether you are asking for the health of a loved one, that loved one will not exist one day. Whether you are asking for things, things will not last forever. Whether you are asking for relationships, they will not be the same always. માટે સત્સંગ કરવો તે તો એકલો નિષ્કામપણે પોતાના જીવના કલ્યાણને અર્થે જ કરવો તો અડગ નિશ્ચય થાય. Whenever we do satsang and sant samagam, the sole purpose should be to achieve God and nothing else and no one else. God alone is enough to make us feel loved, to make us feel eternal bliss, to make us feel complete. God alone is enough to make us realize our true identity. God alone is enough to make us live this life in alliance with the truth with which this life is designed. Everything else is an illusion, everything else is deceptive, everything else is like a distraction created in this game of treasure hunt. The purpose is to find the treasure of God and the treasure within. God lies within, all the treasures lie within. We have to connect within and wish for God and God alone, and with that intent do satsang. Then we will win every choice that we make. Sahajanand Swami Maharaj ne jai.